Sparge is done. I no longer have to worry about spraying acid on top of the mash bed or anything like that. And I'm just going to continue to louder this out, to continue to run this wort into the kettle. Right now, we have 10.5 barrels in. And we're still tracking pretty tightly with where we want to be. Wort is looking great. Yeah, this feels nice. I like this. I'm gonna close those doors up there. I think this is gonna be one of these days that you feel occupied, you feel like just the right amount of busy. There's always something to be doing, and then time flies and you just smashed all this stuff that you needed to do. And it feels good.
How long does this take?
Huh?
How long does it take to get the rest of this out?
We have about another 45 minutes. I think. Yeah, because I should be up to 12 by 60 minutes. And we're at 11, right? We're getting up to 11 right now, so yeah, we're looking good. And the majority of this lauter, or the majority of transferring this wort to the kettle, happens via gravity. It's really only the last handful of barrels that will nudge it up with the pump a little bit. And yeah, it's a well-designed system like that. It's fun. It's an old specific mechanical. It was originally plumbed in to be a little bit more German style, but we changed it around a little bit to be a single infusion. But it's really nice equipment. I love using it. I think that might be it for right now. We can probably cut and recharge our mics. Yeah. If you guys jump onto dry hop, you can get this hooked up, and then we set up, do dry hop, and then we can get ready to do set up rousing on it and everything. Blast it a few times through the day. Do we have mic for me? Yes. Okay. All right, so right now we're just banging through stuff. We have about 3 barrels left to lauter over to the kettle. We're going to be taking 18 barrels in there, maybe just a little bit shy, but it should be about 18 barrels. You can see how light, how copper colored now this runoff is. It's looking clear and beautiful. We love to see that. I did just turn the pump on because we're kind of getting to the point to where the liquid level is low enough in the mash tun and the liquid level is high enough in the kettle that we don't have gravity working in our favor anymore. So again, this is a little bit of a visual experience thing that I do with this, but I will turn this on, get a light underneath the sight glass, and you can see small pieces going by. It's just a visual that I know kind of what speed I need right there, and also some familiarity with the speed dial, but you're just ballparking it really. So we have about another 10 minutes till we're at kettle full. Maggie is running sanitizer on the bright tank that we are going to be transferring a beer into today. Do we need to open the bottom valve on the sight glass? Excellent. Josh is getting prepped up to harvest our yeast for today. They're both about to break and dry hop a beer over here. So we got a lot going on. But it's going well, it's going smooth. Oh, I need to pull a sample on that beer. I need some ISO. This is Huey, right?
Yes.
If we were going to try to make, here's the problem. Huey Lewis and the News. Brewy Lewis and the News.
No.
Huey Lewis and the Brews.
Yeah.
Huey Brewis and the News. Why does it work for all of them? My mom's friend loved Huey Lewis back in the 80s, man. I'm not joking. I remember going over their house. She loved Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis and the Brews.
Huey Lewis and the Brews.
Huey Lewis and the Hughes.
I'm trying to remember lyrics to a Huey Lewis song and say them seriously. But all I can think is you're going to have to face it, you're addicted to love, and I think that's Robert Palmer. Or is that the golfer?
I don't know.
Robert Palmer. Arnold Palmer is the golfer. What was a Huey Lewis song? I'm disappointed in me, per usual. It's my general balancing point is self-disappointment. What are the?
Be square.
Oh yes, I see. I could have went hip to be square, but I don't know that one as well. What else?
Basically, it's all the Back to the Future sound.
Yeah, that's basically it. Doesn't he have a song about rock and roll in the name? Like, is that something?
Yeah, that's Back to the Future.
That's Back to the Future. Man, what is happening? What is happening to me? A little food grade kettle defoamer. Helps to prevent a boil over. We'll talk about it probably a million times, but boiling the kettle over is one of the more dangerous things that can happen in a brew space. Getting burnt with hot liquid is one thing, but getting burnt with a viscous liquid that holds heat rather than dissipates heat is a whole other. So we don't want to do it. What?
Huey, your friend. Huey Brewis and the Lose.
Huey Brewis and the Lose. I like that. I thought you said Huey Brewis and the Ludes.
Ludes.
And I don't think like Quaaludes. Like I'm pretty sure like people don't use the term lude. L-U-D-E-S, I think.
I'm on the Ludes.
I'm on Ludes, bruh.
Huey Lewis and the Lose.
It's starting to sound like you're not speaking English. Dude, this looks great. Makes me happy. We only have one more barrel to go in the kettle, baby. Banging it. Ooh, do you have a bucket?
Yeah, it's over there.
Nice. ISO that mug, girl. ISO. I'm gonna rinse this. Do you want me to take something from you?
Yes, please.
You got it. I want this cup put into PVC. I had it in the kettle. What? Just an empty one, no PVC is made right now?
Correct.
Cool. And then ISO it up again real good. I'll take your clamp if you want me to. Hey, so Dustin, what you're looking at is our dry hopping vessel. It's this cool little guy that fits right on a 4-inch valve. You can pressurize it, sanitize it, pressurize it, fill it with hops, and then so it's completely purged. You're not opening up your dry hop. You're not opening up your tank to the atmosphere. Completely purge it with CO2, open the valve and drop things down. And I'll show you how it's actually rigged out. I'll bring something over. One of the more notorious fails, quote unquote fails, and really actually dangerous thing that happens in this industry is when people dry hop a tank, they will open it up, pour hops in, and it will create nucleation points for the CO2. It'll start to gush. The beer will start to generate foam and will actually shoot out of that port. You can find plenty of videos of that online. It's funny to see, it's dangerous, stuff like that. So that dry hopper actually fits on a valve like this. A valve like this is on top of that tank. So we clamp it to here, and then only when we want to, we open the tank. Once that dry hop vessel is full, sealed, purged, then we drop those hops in. It's just nice. It prevents a major safety hazard, and it actually is quite good for the beer in the way that you're not introducing oxygen at this stage in the game, which is a no-no. All right, so we are at kettle full. Our boil is rolling pretty vigorously. We just hit our boil temperature here. So I'm going to trim back my boiler a little bit because I know my system and generally that's what I have to do. Boil is just started. We do a 90-minute boil on pretty much everything we do. I find we get better break, protein break, meaning we can, it helps create a clearer wort downstream. So we boil for 90 minutes. The longer we boil, the more water that evaporates out, the more sugar dense our wort is as well. There's a handful of things going on here that are happening at once. So we're going to boil for a half hour, and then we're going to put in our 60-minute hop edition. It's a 1-pound Warrior edition, which is going to be driving, I think probably about, I'm going to have to look up the numbers, maybe about 12, 13 IBU. And then the Herzbrucker edition that I have at 30 minutes is going to bring me up to a total of about 19 IBU total for the beer. So things are going real smoothly. Feel good about it. All right, so we're marking boil as starting at 9:20. This means that at 10:50 we will be doing flame out. That means that my 60-minute edition happens at 9:50. My 30-minute edition happens at 10:20. I just like to fill out my brew log with all the scheduled things that are going in. We're looking good. I'm going to set a timer. I set an individual timer just for whatever my next thing is. And the next thing I need to do is at 9:50. All right. Let's get it. This opening stage of the boil is the most volatile portion of the boil. And so I tend to keep an eye on it. Again, the last thing we want is a boil over. I'm going to start draining the rest of the liquid out of my mash tun. There's not a bunch in there. We try to, that's on purpose. But we get that drained out. And we keep an eye on things. I'm going to get some hops measured up. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're going to maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.